Hisham Aburida is a lawyer and head of the Broad National Movement. He joins us now live from London. Good to have you here with us on TRT World. Now, many would argue the latest fighting between the army and the RSF has demonstrated once again the urgent need for demilitarization of the conflict and the establishment of civilian-led governance structures which represent the interest of all Sudanese. So what do you think, what steps can be taken at this point to end the military domination of Sudan and establish civilian-led governance systems?
Thank you so much for hosting me, and good morning to everyone. The problem right now, because we are in a broad national movement since this revolution started in 2018, we give an advice for our colleagues in the civilians parties and so on, and we warn them don't have any kind of dialogue with Sudanese army, because we know is the Sudanese armies they have a loyalty for the previous regime, and now we see this kind of like a conflict, or this kind of is being between uh, the rapid support forces and Sudanese army, and we know that since 2017 the rapid support forces has been integrated to the Sudanese army, and has been like they gave like this kind of, Al-Bashir he's create this kind of militias, and it's become as a legal militias, and the now the problem, uh, our people in Sudan at the moment, the situation is very critical situation at the moment. They
Right.
run out of foods and waters, and even the cut of power of electricity. And you know that we are all the Sudanese are fasting, and they eat in the corner, and still the
Right.
kids and everyone inside the house is like is
Indeed, the
the horror
humanitarian
movies.
situation is tragic, to say
If
the least. And let me add one more question here. Experts also argue that the escalating violence and widespread killing of civilians has been largely going unanswered. So many civilians have been killed, not just in this conflict, but in the past ones as well. So I wonder if there is a role or perhaps a responsibility that can be attributed to the international community when it comes to pressurizing both sides to respect the rights of civilians and prevent further atrocities.
unfortunately the international community, uh, when they like we seen a lot, if there is any kind of like crisis is happened in the different countries, sometimes they take an action straight away to stop any kind of like uh, the human rights to be evaluation. But the problem in Sudan, the only now they see is most of uh, the speeches from the international community. They mention for they start like they be very worried about what is going on in Sudan, but they need to take an action actually, because the yes, there is like now it's 174 has been killed, because the two clashes that they do now, they use the human shields for this kind of a conflict. Why they start this kind of things from the beginning? You know that they need at least, if like they inform the Sudanese people. I mean, there is an war. There's going to be at least, because we know that the population of the capital of Sudan, most of them they came from. It's not all inside from the capitals. Most of them it's come from different outside the capitals. They can give them like at least a time they can run out, instead of they've been locked inside this kind of war. The situation, as I said, is very critical now in Sudan. The international community, they need to take an action. to stop this kind of war, to let the civilians to have like a
Right.
more, because they run out of foods, run out of waters, and even there is many hospitals has been closed down, and really the situation is very very critical.
Indeed. Hisham Aburida, thank you very much for talking to us here on TRT World. Really appreciate your taking out the time.